Good morning, guys. Alexiot's Raptor Freak here this morning, early on a Monday morning. It's raining outside, still very dark. People are just going to work. And there's a huge bombshell story in Raptor World this morning that just broke maybe just an hour ago. An article out by Doug Smith at the Toronto Star this morning talking about how during the negotiations with Masai Ujiri this summer, for him to be continuing as president of the Raptors, there was some interference with this by executive Ted Rogers III, who's basically the heir to the Rogers throne, owns the Blue Jays, owns the Rogers Center, and controls the Rogers Corporation, the cable company. Well, apparently he did not want to. He's a part of the MLSE board also with Larry Tannenbaum and other people. And he was telling us, and he was holding up this signing of Masai Ujiri because he didn't feel like he was worth the money we were offering him in the contract. And he was fighting with other heads of MLSE about giving him this contract and keeping him on. His argument was that Bobby Webster could run the team by himself, that Masai Ujiri was not necessary. And good morning, MK. Good to see you. Big news this morning. I hope you listen to me about this right now because this is a very serious thing. The proof is in the pudding. Rogers Corporation is trying to hurt the Raptors. And yeah, he got kicked out last week. They kicked him out as CEO. But this is the thing. There's something weird about his situation with that corporation. Because he's in the family trust, he can do this thing where he builds his own board and he ousts the other board and they gets his new board to vote him back into power. And it's scary and it's messed up, like in some ways. But I don't know how this is going to shake. Like this power struggle with Rogers is a big thing. And hopefully, I went and looked at him on Google and stuff like that. This guy looks like a Canadian Trump kind of guy. His house is all gold. His wife looks like Ivana. I mean, he looks like a real POS. I'm not even gonna lie. Corruption. And listen, this is the thing. If we get down to it, guys, think about this. Masai Ujiri breaks ceilings for men of his color. He's doing things on a power level that white men are scared of. And this is similar to the kind of thing with what happened in Golden State when we won the championship with the guy when he wouldn't let him on the court. There's racism involved in this, guys. And that's true. But yeah, he did sign. We got him through, and it should be okay. Yes, MK. But I want to show that that's the kind of meddling that people are doing. Like he's the head of baseball and Rogers and Sportsnet and stuff like that. And they didn't want the Raptors to have one of their most powerful assets anymore. Like this guy had the balls to call Masai after he signed the contract and tell him on the phone, you're not worth this money. And I'm not happy about this. He called Masai after he signed his new contract and said, you're not worth this money. Like, what the fuck? What a piece of shit. Like, honestly, all Raptor fans, like, I call on this. Like, I did this a long time ago. But if you guys can, don't support a company like Rogers. I mean, whether it's cutting your cable and finding your media through other avenues, some other way, just don't support Rogers. Because honestly, they've had a monopoly in some ways, and they've been bleeding us of money through cable bills and all kinds of stupid like packages where you have to pay extra to get Raptor games and all this kind of stuff. They've been penalizing our nation for a long time. And to know that maybe part of the reason why the negotiations with Masai Ujiri were taking so long is because of a piece of shit like this guy involved in it all, that makes me mad. I'm so glad that cooler heads prevailed and the right thing happened where, we did re-sign him and he is on that contract still. Yeah. Okay. Gee, read his sister's open letter. She's not down with what's happening. She seems very humble. That's good. At least there's somebody in that family that seems like, they understand the legacy of Ted Rogers and what the company should be doing. The guy looks like a real POS. I'm telling you, I'm looking at this stuff and I'm like, this Ted Rogers, the third guy, he's a bad dude. But yeah, the company threw him out last week. But like I said, he's doing power plays by trying to build his own board and trying to push himself back in there. It's a really crazy situation. I don't know all the little details. I'm just learning about it this morning. But the fact that this guy had the guts to call Masai and tell him he wasn't worth the money just pisses me off. It just pisses me off because we know how long this negotiation and this cloud of mystery about what Masai was going to do was going on. And it could have been held up partly because of assholes like him. So click 2 a.m. All internet telephone providers are pretty darn expensive, but it's because they are protected from foreign competition. Bell's probably the best option. Yeah, I mean, for my internet, I do Tech Savvy, which is a pretty good company. And then for all my media, I just do it through YouTube and finding it on different things like streaming services and stuff. Like it really is. If you can cut the cable cord in this age, it's a good idea. Yeah. Yeah, thank you, Kenny. I mean, this is serious. Like, I made a video last week about how these entities like TSN, NHL, Rogers, and the Blue Jays, they may be trying to hurt the Raptors. And this is a very specific way. Like, I'm sure Ted Rogers III was saying, we cut the head of the snake, we can really hurt the Raptors. And that's Masai Ujiri is the head of our snake. Yeah, I haven't had cable in years either, MK. I mean, it's honestly like kind of a dinosaur. It's kind of going out because people really do find their media in totally other different ways now these days. Gee, my friend worked for Rogers. Ted would be rolling in his grave. He's not like this. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's why this man has a statue out in front of the Sky Dome. And that's why this guy did so many good things for this city and in all kinds of different ways. And obviously his heirs are pieces of crap. Like the dude looks like Canada Trump. Like you go look at his pictures on Google, his family looks gross, and all his house is all decked out in cheap, glitzy, fake ass gold, and like his wife looks like some crazy Eastern European woman. I mean, I'm just telling you, he looks like a Trump. So I'm like, man, this really pissed me off this morning because listen, Masai Ujiri keeps getting disrespected by people that he just shouldn't be getting disrespected by. This man is doing good work all around the world, not just for our team and our franchise, but he's doing good work all around the world. And he symbolizes some things that some people hate and some people don't want to see in a new world. And that's why people like Ted Rogers III act like this. It's messed up. There is an underlying theme of racism in this. I don't think if Masai Ujiri was a white guy from Canada, this would be happening. I'm serious. And some people may be like, whoa, Lex, don't start doing this race card. But I get real with this because this is real. That shit that happened in Oakland when we won the championship, that was real racism. And in this case, I think this has to do with it too. Because they saw the amount of money that they were going to give Masai, and they're like, no, you don't give somebody like that money, is what Ted Rogers is probably thinking in his head. Because I know how these old racist, rich-ass motherfuckers think. I'm telling you, I was married into a family of one percenters, and I used to go to dinners and hang out and hobnob with these kind of motherfuckers down in Florida. And I seen how they talk behind doors and shit like that. I seen how the 1% act about all of us as the masses. So this is real shit, man. But anyway, I don't want to totally overreact and go too far with just this Ted Rogers III stuff. Although this was really eye-opening. And I really appreciate Doug Smith for bringing this out and letting us know a little bit more of what was going on with this negotiation with Masai Ujiri and stuff like that. I'm just glad that we got him in and he's still here because that would have been tragic if we lost him because of somebody like Ted Rogers III. So, okay, click 2 a.m. I have TSN, but there's so many ways to watch games for free. Oh, yeah. I'm not going to talk about them here. But, yeah, there's ways to watch the games for sure. Larry Tannenbaum adores Masai. He would have started a war with Rogers. Yeah, I believe that too, G. And I think that is probably the main person that saved Masai from some bullshit that was happening with that. He was probably the one that put his foot down and he said, no, Rogers III, you need to just GTFO and let us run our franchise and stuff like that. But yeah, Masai symbolizes unity and equality. That's right. It scares the hell out of them. It also symbolizes a powerful black man that is a power player. And he may be the most powerful man in the NBA right now, other than LeBron and Adam Silver. So it's like, this scares some people. This scares some people that they see him successful. They see him leading the team and doing all kinds of crazy stuff. They see the growth of basketball in Canada. And in some ways, Masai Ujiri is the big part of who's carrying that right now. So, man, all right, let's go to the game stuff. We did about 10 minutes of this bombshell, big story this morning, waking up and seeing this. I'm sure all of y'all had the same kind of reaction this morning. Like Kenny said, he's canceling his Rogers right now. Like if I still had Rogers, I would have canceled it today too. Because, our consumer confidence and where we put our money is a big part of how we can have power in this world as regular people, individuals, collectively. When we make moves like this, it really is felt. So I hope that there's a lot of Raptors people this morning kind of like reconsidering things and how they they're getting their media. But anyway, let's look at the game tonight. It's Chicago's here. It's weird because all right, whenever DeMar comes back to Toronto, it's always special for me, obviously, because of his history with us and how important he is to the franchise. Sometimes I actually kind of feel like because of the way we did him raw, that I kind of want him to beat us, but not this year. Like when he was with the Spurs, I was kind of like, yeah, get some revenge on us, feel better, because we did do you wrong and stuff like that. But not anymore, because I don't want the Bulls to get it going good. They're already 3-0 right now. They're doing interesting things. Like their team isn't really super good at rebounding, and they're not super shooting well. They've won 2 games against Detroit, which is 2 games against Detroit, let's be honest. And, they won another game. I think it was the Pelicans against Jonas and stuff like that. Now, they've got weapons. They've got weapons for sure. Levine's had some big games already. DeMar's played really well for them already. Vucevic is there. You've got Lonzo Ball running around with them too now. So we really got to see this new look and see how it goes. And once again, I want to see our defense take the challenge of shutting them down like we have at times this year so far. Like I really want to see them do that. Now, looking at the height test, they have some bigger guys than us, but overall our length is much better than them throughout. So our deep 10 with our length should overwhelm them with the length and stuff. So I'm hoping that that'll happen. But this is the thing with laws of averages. They've won 3 games already. We could hopefully win this game because, we need a better home record. Because one of the things, it is true, a playoff team has a good home record. And if we can't get a good home record, that may be a sign that we're not a playoff team. As much as I hate to say that, like, I don't want to not be a playoff team. So we really need to turn around our home record as quickly as possible. And this is the week to do it. We've got 4 games in a row at home. We lost the first one. We lost our first game at home. So we're 0-2 at home. We just got to improve that record this week. And this may be the tougher one of the 3 this week on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, the Chicago game today. But, it's going to be fun. It's always fun to have DeMar in the building. We show him love. Hopefully we give him a standing ovation, but we don't let him kill us. Hopefully we get the win because what we got to do is win the paint, and we got to just get better shots. Like today, I'd like to see the Raptors work to get better shots, like high-quality open shots, and, like, execute. We're getting all these great deflections and turnovers and stuff. Why can't in transition can we translate those to points? Because that is a huge thing that we haven't been doing so far this year. We have all these great turnovers and defensive plays, but we're not getting the gains from it. And when we start getting those gains, it is going to be really, really good. All right, let's see. Click 2 a.m. Every time DeMar comes back, it's emotional. Yeah, it's emotional. But this is a must win. We can't be 0-3 at home to start the season. That's a serious, serious issue. We got to get this going to start. It's going to be Scotty versus DeMar. I like that. I like that matchup. I think that it'll be really fun to see those guys battling. Playing away at Tampa may have made them better away players. Yeah, maybe that's the thing. We played so many away games last year, we forgot how to win at home because we haven't had that feeling in a long time. And I really do believe that when we start losing at home with the Toronto crowd, the fans really start sucking the energy out of the air. Like they're like, oh my gosh, not again. I get that feeling at other sporting events with like the Leafs or with the Jays or something like that with the Toronto crowd. Like if they start losing, the game starts turning, the fans start kind of going with that in the energy. And it's really bad. Like it's a bad trait for Raptors or Toronto sports fans in general to have, because you really hurt the energy in the building. And in fact, it's not only the building goes from like a positive energy for the fans to the players, it becomes a negative energy from the fans to the players. Like we double down on their doubt and their troubles of like, oh crap, like panicking. We double down on panicking because we're mirroring them on the court, and the confidence goes down with the players, confidence goes down with the crowd, and then it's just really like a bad scene all around. So we really got to no Yuta again still today, MK, unfortunately, and no Pascal, of course. On the other side, there's only one guy out, is Kobe White. their backup point guard with the crazy hair. He's going to be out until mid-November. All right, let's see what else is going on. Gee, notice how the NBA, Instagram, and NBA is pushing Jalen Green and nothing on Barnes. Oh yeah, and they'll even this is on the download, something that they'll use to recruit him later on. They'll say, "Well, did you get any exposure in Canada playing for the Raptors?" It's just like the weird gaslighting that the NBA does to the Raptors in all kinds of different ways. Like, they would be smart to put a little bit of Raptors in all of their advertising, because people around the world see this advertising, and a lot of people are Raptor fans, and they want to see the Raptor content in the NBA stuff. People in Japan that are watching Raptors or watching NBA content, they want to see Yuta. They want to see Scotty. They want to see Raptors content, and they're not getting it because the NBA doesn't focus on us enough. All right, let's see. Kene, since they removed Sprite Zone, energy in the building not the same. It's really like it really is like a thing where the fans are very fickle about cheering. Like, they don't want to put the energy into it if they feel like they're going to fail at the end. So they have to feel like they're going to win and like it's guaranteed before they actually go all in. I hate that. There's nothing wrong with cheering the hell out of your team, even if it's futile. Even if there's no way they're going to win, just cheer the hell out of them. Don't stop putting your emotions and how you feel as a person, whether you're a winner or loser, with the team. Because even if you cheer the hell out of them and they lose, that's that. Who cares? You did your part. You did your best. And that's what the team's supposed to say. Like, we put our much energy. We left it on the court. We did our best. Now, the fans need to be able to say that too. And I know everybody who watches me and is listening and here with me right now, we're good fans, and we're doing the right stuff when we go there. It's just we need to be leaders as fans when we go there too, and just entice other people to get out there and get loud just like we do. Because, like, I know that's what I do. I can get my whole section and another couple sections around me going if I want to, just singularly me. Just because I get so fucking loud. I go, defense! And the little kids see me and they like think I'm cool and they start mimicking me. And then boom, it's like wildfire. It just catches and it goes. So let's see. Click 2 a.m. At least we don't boo our players like Boston. Yeah, but we can. We've been known to do this kind of stuff in the past as a fan base, and I hate it. I really do. But yeah, that Boston, that was really bad. But yeah, in the past we have done that, and it's ugly. I never like it when our fans get to that point. It's never good. Any updates on Pascal? Need to see this team fully healthy before evaluating. Well, they're saying that it's still on the timetable that they've been saying all along, mid-November. But I don't believe that. I think it's going to be a week or so before that. Like maybe in the first 10 days of November, we'll see him back, because he's getting contact in practice now. So he's progressing and he's getting more and more ready. But we definitely could have used him against Dallas on Saturday. That is for sure. I know I do need to go to every game. I feel like I really want to go to the game today just because DeMar's going to be there. And I'm in a group on Facebook, Raptor fans. And one guy in that group keeps having trouble getting people to go to the game with him, but his seats are really good. They're like $120 seats. So I'm not made of money. That's the other thing. And like, these tickets are expensive, but yeah, I wish I could go to every game. I would be out there every game and doing that. Yeah, gee, some of our fans want instant gratification all the time. Patience is important. Yeah, this is the hard time right now. This is the time where we're figuring things out. We have growing pains. We're going to lose. We're going to win. We're going to lose. We're going to win. We're going to lose. We're going to win. It's going to be like that. And when it's not so clear that they have like a winner, then, half the fans are fair weather and they're not going to be fully invested. They're just going to kind of casually watch. And, if we catch fire and we're doing better, then they'll jump on board with us a little more full. So it is kind of dependent on the team and how they're performing. Like if they're sucking and they're losing a lot, then yeah, we're in trouble. It'll be just the real diehards like us. And that's just going to have how it's going to be. And it's been like that other years in their franchise. So we're used to it. This won't be anything new. That when we, the real fans stick with them through this really hard stuff, and then people are kind of like flaky about it. That we can't do anything about that. So anyway, tonight, if the Raptors can do the same thing that they did against Dallas in the first quarter, and hopefully the refs won't start calling these touch fouls and taking our aggression away on our defense, we should be fine. We can beat them. We have good success against Vucevic whenever we face him. And DeMar, as much as we love DeMar and all these things, he has his flaws as a player. We know them well. And so, we really need to attack him. We need to send Scotty Barnes straight at DeMar and just attack him, whether he's backing him down and shooting over him with his height, or just reading him and something like that. Because DeMar is susceptible on defense. We can do that. So, and another thing I want to talk about real quick is this thing with Chris Boucher has gotten a little out of hand in the last day or so. I'm really kind of upset with Nick Nurse for calling him out in that press conference like that. Like, it's not necessary to do that. I know that I think he's done this before to Chris, where he's called him out to the press and then he benched him and he didn't play him for a while. But then when Chris came back, he was really, really, really aggressive and eager to prove his worth again. And it may be that Nick really knows what motivates Chris, what makes him get back to being a high level. Because honestly, in my eye test watching the game the other night, I didn't see Chris Boucher do a whole lot wrong other than miss his shots. Sure, he was 0 for 5, and maybe that's why he's mad at him, because he took shots that weren't that good and he missed them all. But he was getting some rebounds. He was getting a steal, getting a block, getting an assist. He's the kind of player that, like, and this is what I want for all these players. If they're producing in other areas, because they're a dynamic player that can do all kinds of different stats for us, and they're not really scoring as well, I think we should give them a little more of a leash. It's different than giving Goran a leash, because Goran's not going to give you a lot of extra stats other than scoring. He's not going to pile on a bunch of assists. He's not going to get a bunch of rebounds. We're lucky if he gets some steals. So if he's not shooting his shot, he's worthless. Meanwhile, Chris Boucher, you can put him out there, and if he's not hitting his shot, he's doing 5 or 6 other things for us, whether it's his rebounding, his help defense, shot blocking, blocking 3-point shots on the corner. These are all things he can do without hitting his shot. So I'm mystified why Nick Nurse is so upset with him and he won't play him. And I really don't like it when he calls a player out in a press conference like that. But maybe this is the way he motivates him. Maybe we see a whole different Chris Boucher. But this is the one thing I don't want to see tonight. Chris Boucher on the bench the whole game. Because if we see him bench him the whole game, then there's something stupid going on with Nick Nurse then. Because we really need our depth. And to me, Chris Boucher is an essential part of our rotation. He's somebody we need to be playing. He has an advantage. He plays a really unique, awesome style of game. And that can really help us, Nick. So please, get your head out of your ass with Chris Boucher. Give him a little more leash. Be just like you are with Precious. He's like, they were asking you, well, is Precious out of control when he's dribbling? He's like, no, I just want him to be aggressive. He's fine. Be like that a little bit more with Chris. Unless you saw something where he was dogging it or he did something that directly disobeyed something that you asked him to do, then I can understand what's going on here. But give him a chance. We can't afford to bench guys like him on our team when we have such inexperience and we need him and his length to be a part of this awesome defense and what we're doing and stuff. We can't have him miss games because he's one of our most experienced players on this team, Nick, and we need experience out there. Come on now. So, yeah, Kenny, Nick Nurse wrong for that. That dude's, he hasn't played in a long time. He had surgery on his finger. He came back from the surgery on his finger 2 weeks early. I didn't expect him to play for the opener. I thought he was going to be out for another week. And he's come back early, and he's already in Nick Nurse's doghouse. I mean, come on. You're penalizing a guy who didn't really get a preseason, Nick. So, Nick Nurse had a point. Chris' shot selection has been out of character and out of play. He was shooting off dribble threes. Okay, Click, you're exactly right. His shot selection was poor on Saturday. But like I said, he does so many other things. And maybe that was the message you want to give him. But, I've seen Chris Boucher in the last couple of games do stuff off the dribble. And I think that's a good sign. I would think that Nick would want to encourage him to be able to do the spot up three. But if he doesn't have the three, he can put the ball on the floor and dribble around the guy and get a closer shot, like a 10-foot shot, something like that. I don't like him. I don't want him to stifle him. But, of course, Nick knows Chris better than we know him. And maybe this is how he motivates. This is how he gets a fire under his ass, and he really starts producing in a major way. Chris been having problems with jacking up shots. We know that our morning. Good morning, Sue. Kenny, I think it really is the shot selection. And it could be that he blew a couple of defensive assignments because he was in there in that second quarter with Dallas when we really fell apart. And maybe he was a part of that falling apart that I didn't fully recognize or see when I was watching the game at that time. So, but yeah, it's mystifying to me. Like I said, we don't like him calling out players singularly in press conferences like that. It's not a good look, Nick Nurse. Take care of it internally. because now, you give fodder for other media outlets and things, and rumors, and people can start saying this or that. And it's just, it starts a trend of like tabloidism around the team and wondering that we don't want, like the whole thing with Pascal last year, with you and him, like maybe being at odds. Like, we don't need that around the team. We need as smooth as possible, harmony, everything good. Click 2 a.m. Chris Boucher's point should come from the paint or catch and shoot mid-range three. Yeah, I can agree with that. There's a wrinkle to his game that he developed this summer that's really good, and he just hasn't been able to show it yet successfully. I'm looking forward to it, and I want to see him. I think he needs 20 minutes a game. Like, he really does, at least 20 minutes a game. And like we were saying after the Dallas game yesterday, this rotation needs to be quick and fast, and nobody getting tired, and him really thinking about it. I mean, we're not on a back-to-back, but he lost an opportunity on Saturday to win a game, mainly because he didn't rotate fast enough or often enough, as far as I'm concerned. Okay, well, I'm not going to do a super long one just because it's a preview. And, we went over the bombshell this morning by Doug Smith in the Toronto Star, Ted Rogers III, and him trying to block Masai Ujiri signing a new contract with us this summer, and DeMar's return tonight. Always emotional, always nice to see him. We should always give him a warm welcome. Don't be like the Raptors Digest kids and not understand the legacy and importance of DeMar DeRozan to this franchise. He's not just a joke and somebody that got replaced by Kawhi and was somebody that couldn't have gotten us to the championship, because we don't know. DeMar could have possibly gotten us to a championship in the next year or so after he left. We don't know. So he needs the respect, because honestly, when I look at the list of greatest Raptors of all time, it's Kyle and DeMar is two. So he deserves our respect as a fan base, and hopefully he won't kill us tonight, because he gets motivation, I'm sure, to come out there and kill us and want to really beat us up because of what happened. So, all right, guys. Fun guy, my guy. Yes, let's go. All right, guys. Thanks a lot. Have a great Monday. Let's start this week off right. Let's get a win at home. We really need a win at home. And maybe I will finagle a ticket somehow and get into the building somehow. Because maybe, you guys might be right. I need to get down there for most of the games, G. I need a sponsor, maybe. I don't know. Like, I might, Monique is a friend of mine. She gets seats where she gets to sit for every game. So maybe Monique can bring me for a game or something like that, and I can go sit with her during the game. I don't know. Maybe. I don't know. But we'll figure it out. We'll see. All right. We just got to win, baby. Just win, baby. Let's go. And like, comment, subscribe. Thanks all for continuing to watch me and enjoying my points of view and my silly vernacular and euphemisms and dumb sayings and all that kind of stuff. And my insight with what I'm seeing and stuff. I really appreciate it. And I love doing this. And I love the passion is here. The passion's with you guys. I love sharing it with. This is just the enthusiasm and fun of everything. And trust in Masai, because Masai trusted in Larry Tannenbaum, and he got his deal done, no matter what Ted Rogers III tried to do to stop it. I can't believe the audacity of that man. He called Masai after he signed that contract and said, "You're not worth it." That's wrong. Why would you do that, Ted Rogers III? You salty old, crusty old